This is Crazy D. I would like to say that this little piece would be, light after I had finished my part 1, 2, and 3 of Crazy D, the models, and a Lordland photo shoot, but it's not light. My part 3 was rejected. It's a shame to me that women, especially black women, cannot be seen in an artistic standpoint. And there's a root to this, especially for black women. Her name was Sara Bartman, and in 1810, after wars in South Africa, her husband was murdered. They took her over to Britain, and she became a feature attraction in what is called the Freakshow. Man with the little arms on his neck, things like that. She was paraded around in Britain within the Freakshow, let me say. And then in 1814, she was taken to France, and she was put on display. And many of the different ideas of women's mystery came from her. You see, Sara Bartman was well endowed in her hindquarters, let's say. And this is where the bustle, if you see those old movies and you see the women dressed in gowns that are real tight in the middle with corsets, and then there's a bustle on the back and then a long train. The bustle was imitating Sara Bartman. And so it was a term back then that said, what's underneath that bustle. So they were using her in 1814. As I said, she went to France and she was paraded around, and then after she died, her brain as well as her sexual organs were kept on display in the French Museum until 1985. During the 20s and the 30s, with the 8 expatriates going across their jazz musicians who said that France offered them more of a free opening. Meanwhile, this black woman's organs were on display in the French Museum. Let me bring this forward to what I'm saying here. So when you see those images, like when you rent those videos from Daytona Beach, or they call it the Freaknik or the Freak Show, and you see women bouncing their butts, this is a direct imagery back to Sara Bartman, who was a unwilling participant in the destruction of the mind state of African people around the world. We still perpetuate that today ourselves. Others who see what you do, they only view it in one way.
Reduced to being watched by spectators, her body was used as evidence to support racist notions that black people were more animal-like than human.
So, if I come to you and I present an artistic viewpoint of black women where there's no butt shaking, no titty bouncing, none of that, and it can't be seen as art, I'm a little bit angered, because I would think that intelligent people will be able to see the difference between art and pornography. I bring the art, and I know it's hard for people to understand art because all they've been conditioned to is that black people, since Sara Bartman, since 1810, especially the black women, to be seen as sexual objects. But you tell me what you think. Write me a response. 30 words or less, and I have you right here up on You Too Can Be a Star Showcase to rebut what I said or to agree with what I said. Don't take my word for it. Type in Sara Bartman in Yahoo, Google, and see what comes up. Sara, S-A-R-A, Bartman, B-A-R-T-M-A-N, and read your history. Read French history, British history, American history, African history, all wrapped up within this woman who was taken from South Africa in 1810 and made a sexual object, the Hottie Toddy Venus. I'm Crazy D, I'm signing out. And let's get it together, people.